Nobody talks about how hard it is to be skinny, pretty, famous, rich, a virgin, okay? Do you know that everywhere I go, I get stopped? Because everyone either wants to date me, they're like, my son wants you, or they just like take pictures. Funniest part about this is that now people are actually seeing more of me and like, I fucking love this girl. And now all the people who are like, yeah, all eyes on you where? Bitch, all eyes on me now. The whole fucking internet is talking about me. Like, stay mad.
In the vast ecosystem of internet personalities, it takes something truly special to stand out. And someone like Talia Breyer, a 21-year-old coming-of-age influencer, managed to achieve this feat by uniting the internet in a war against her words and looks.
Have you guys seen that girl who thinks she's pretty? She's honestly the ugliest motherfucker I've ever seen. Like, she looks like fucking Nicolas Cage. Ew, what the fuck she's
My daughter looks like Nicolas Cage?
Apparently, that's what everybody's saying. That
We don't hate that girl who said life is so hard because she is so beautiful and famous because she's confident. We hate her because she's not, and her confidence is...
Talia bases her content on narcissistic claims. She said that being too pretty makes going out in public too intimidating for her.
Being pretty makes going out in public so fucking intimidating. And guys make it so obvious too. Like, I hear you. Like, I literally hear what you're whispering to your friends, and I see you all fucking staring at me.
She also claimed that she has never been told no in her entire life.
I've literally never been told no in my life. Honestly, being spoiled growing up has taught me that I can get anything.
Talia carries herself so aloofly, you'd think she has millions of followers, but it's not even up to 100K across her social media accounts. Talia is a perfect storm of privilege, insecurity, and an almost impressive lack of self-awareness.
Not just about money. Energy, I attract the people, the opportunities. I literally said this year I'm gonna become an influencer, and it's literally been 6 months and I'm a fucking influencer.
She's not just another influencer with a controversial take. She's someone who grew up in a bubble as thick as her brain.
That people are looking at you in public is not because of how you look, but rather maybe because you are just loud.
This is someone who believes that being broke means you accept the bare minimum.
Guys, I'm with my assistant. I'm like, is it mean to call people broke? And she's like, what you really mean is broke adjacent. You're not broke because you have no money. You're broke because you accept the bare minimum. You do nothing. The bar is literally in hell and you can't even meet it.
Talia shames only women for participating in hookup culture, claiming that they need to stay pure for their husbands. She advises 15-year-olds to get nose jobs if they want.
Oh, if you're a girl between like 15 and like honestly any age above that, why are you not caring about how you look? Like, I always was like, I just love myself the way I am. Like, I'm not gonna change anything. No, bitch. If there's something that's always bothered you, change it.
And she herself uses Ozempic to lose weight. The central question here isn't whether Talia is arrogant or rage baiting. She's practically a spoiled lady with a brat mentality.
Daddy's money, you want a credit card, you want to be set for life. It's harder than you think. People will just assume that you have enough money for them too. And it's like, sorry, I'm not gonna share daddy's money with you. Like, it's mine. Tell your daddy to work harder. Like, this is mine.
But is this behavior genuine narcissism? Or is it an armor built from layers of insecurity? And how harmful can her philosophies of beauty standards be to people with low self-esteem? Grab your popcorn as we unravel the layers of Talia Breyer, one controversial take after another.
I love being an influencer because I fucking love attention. Like, yes, watch my shit.
Comment on it, talk about me, I don't care. Have my name in your mouth, I'm happy. I love attention. Talia, 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 Talia. What? I love it.
Let's start with the main topic that got everyone talking. A video Talia posted on December 16th, 2025 with the caption, "Being pretty and insta-famous is not for the weak." While sitting in a car, Talia launched herself into a monologue about how being pretty had become a burden for her. She claimed that men are always staring at her and she couldn't handle the pressure.
Being pretty makes going out in public so fucking intimidating. And guys make it so obvious too. Like, I hear you. Like, I literally hear what you're whispering to your friends, and I see you all fucking staring at me. And then also, like, this guy literally tried to like walk into me to like get I'm like, oh my fucking god.
You can see how much she tried to look frustrated by her situation. Talia grumbled about how the attention she was receiving was intimidating. Having multiple pairs of eyes staring at her gave her so much anxiety.
And this is not even to be like, oh my god, I'm just so beautiful. But it really is true. Like, going in public, being a pretty girl, you know you're being looked at. And it's intimidating. Like, I don't know. I also didn't grow up looking like this. And so being seen, like, all eyes on me like this, gives me so much fucking anxiety.
Now, beautiful people face unique challenges like unwanted attention, harassment, or being taken less seriously in professional contexts. These are real issues, but Talia wasn't discussing any of that. She was literally complaining that she gets too much attention and that she wouldn't go to the mall alone because she wasn't used to being seen and talked about.
But oh my gosh, I went to the mall today for the first time in so long, and I'm not gonna lie, I never want to do it again, and I never want to go in public again by myself because I don't know, I need to get used to just like being seen and being looked at and being like whispered about.
This is a level of self-confidence you don't see in a person. To some, it could even pass as blind arrogance, because Talia was speaking so highly of her own appearance. And here's the thing that made this situation particularly delusional. At the time of this video, Talia had roughly 55,000 Instagram followers. Now, 55,000 is nothing. Creators often struggle to meet that mark. But in Talia's case, it wasn't exactly Kardashian-level fame. She mentioned how she often heard people talking about how she had a social media following.
And honestly, what I think it actually is that makes it a lot worse is now that I have a social media following, I hear people being like, oh, I follow her on Instagram, or like people will come up to me.
On this note, one thing is super clear. Talia sees herself as someone who is Insta-famous and has eyes pinned on her the minute she steps into the outside world. She probably thinks she's the avatar of the beauty world. There's nothing particularly bad with the way she loves herself and holds herself in high esteem. Everyone's entitled to their own feelings and level of self-love and appreciation. But Talia's way of addressing the issue either shows that she's narcissistic or a talented rage baiter. Who would call themselves Insta-famous with less than 100,000 followers on Instagram? It's the kind of following where you might get recognized occasionally in your hometown, but it's not enough for the whole mall to be staring at you and whispering. This is one factor that made Talia's story sound satirical. Was she serious or pulling the internet's legs? Talia's attitude in the whole video is similar to someone who's experiencing the burden of being a universally recognized beauty, a modern-day Helen of Troy, whose face could launch 1,000 ships, or at least 1,000 awkward conversations at Walmart. The internet, as you might imagine, did not take kindly to this display. The comments section was a firestorm of funny reactions. Some wondered who this uber-famous lady was. Others wished they could be as delusional as she was. Damn, I need to be this delusional. I want the voices that live in your head. They're so nice to you. Quite a number of people didn't take Talia seriously. In fact, some pointed out that maybe, just maybe, she wasn't getting stared at for the reasons she thought. Maybe eyes weren't on her because she was pretty, but because she was loud. This creator called Michelle's Public Diary laid out this assumption.
Maybe the reason that people are looking at you in public is not because of how you look, but rather maybe because you are just loud.
She also laid emphasis on the fact that pretty girls don't boast that they're pretty, and they barely take note of who's staring at them. The only instance where they might be aware of the unwanted attention is if they're consciously looking for those secret admirers.
There are probably so many people who stare at you on the street every day, admiring your beauty, but the only ever time you may clock that is if you're visibly looking for people to be looking at you.
This hot take could really be the case with Talia. Judging from her proud attitude, it's possible that she'd been busy fishing for her possibly invisible admirers. Or maybe she was battling insecurities and using the "I'm pretty" discourse as a public self-confidence boost. Whatever the case may be, Talia did get the attention she was seeking through this video. On Instagram, it gained over 890 likes. It's not much, but the real game changer was her TikTok account, where she amassed over 200,000 likes and 3.7 million views. With just one viral clip, Talia had cemented her place in internet history. Unfortunately, her name traveled around the internet, not for nice reasons, but because of her perceived satirical arrogance. And here's where it gets truly fascinating. Most people, when faced with this level of backlash, would either apologize or quietly delete the video and hope the internet would forget. But not Talia. Instead of quietly exiting the spotlight, she returned with a follow-up video, calling her haters average people.
I'm pretty and I know I'm pretty, and that makes people so fucking mad.
In the video, Talia claimed that a lot of negative comments about her looks came from men, and she responded by saying that she fit the beauty standards.
People, mostly guys, trying to gaslight me and be like, you're not pretty, you're chopped. Bitch, you literally cannot tell me that I'm not objectively pretty. I fit the beauty standard. That is just a fucking fact. And the funny thing is, I don't see it as that much of a personal thing.
Talia admitting that a lot of hate came from men is quite contradicting. especially when you consider everything she'd stated in her viral video. She had claimed that she was so pretty that the stares she received gave her anxiety. Now, if that were true, the internet's reaction would have leaned more to a positive angle. Many commenters would have attested to that. Also, there would have been more people acting in her defense. However, there was not, and this spoke volumes to how they didn't regard her as highly as she did herself. Talia spoke with the kind of conviction usually reserved for conspiracy theorists and cult leaders. She affirmed that she was very beautiful and no one could ever make her hate herself.
You can't gaslight me. I know I'm fucking pretty. You could never make me hate myself. Truly.
Then, in the same breath, she claimed everyone who reacted negatively to her post were bots. For Talia, none of her commenters exist in her own universe.
I don't even believe in any of the hate on social media. You're a fucking bot. No one's ever said this shit to my face, so that's how I know you're a fucking bot. You don't exist in my universe.
This time the comments were largely in support. They believed Talia was indeed pretty. These were the top liked comments. You guys can hate the take, but she is definitely pretty. Y'all are mad, she's pretty. She is pretty though. Even her sister Kaylee Anna, who has over 2 million followers on TikTok, spoke in her defense.
Talia Breyer is my little sister. Funny enough, if you haven't seen my page, my whole page is about confidence. But I'm also 6 years older than her. My confidence comes from a place of going through a lot of crap.
Kaylee explained that Talia pushes her raw energy online and it often gets her misunderstood.
I always tell her that she comes across different in her videos than she does in real life because she is only showing that raw side of her. Just right now, she's young and figuring out how to express herself.
In the end, she urged her audience to give her little sister a chance.
I hope you guys give my little sister a chance because she is so confident and so inspiring. She inspires me, and I think you guys will love her too when she starts opening up. Be nice to my little sister and stay confident. Bye, girls.
The big question in Talia's situation at this point was whether she was being arrogant or confident. Talia could be seen as extremely confident. Her subsequent videos followed the same format. Talia would sit in front of her camera and affirm that she's pretty and she's well aware of it. And anyone who didn't believe her or spoke contrary to that was either miserable or jealous of her.
I'm pretty. I know I'm pretty. Even worse, I'll say out loud that I think I'm pretty. Nothing makes an insecure person more angry than seeing someone who has confidence. Misery loves company. Remember that.
It feels as though she's manifesting positivity amidst the internet's disapproval. She always fought back with the self-awareness of a brick wall, the confidence of someone who's never been told they might be wrong about something. At some point, she started preaching about how her viral take was based on pure delusion.
Me even being able to believe I'm so pretty that everyone's staring at me doesn't come from nowhere. And you can say I'm delusional, but who cares if it's delusional? Good, be fucking delusional. I literally want that for all of you, genuinely.
But here's the thing about the whole delusional topic. Delusion is a way of deceiving yourself. It's a system where one believes something that couldn't possibly be true. By saying that she was being delusional when she made that video, she's more or less admitting to the fact that she was deceiving herself. So in this case, the word delusion is misused and even abused. Talia often told her audience to identify themselves with confidence and high self-worth by being delusional. For her, this was the perfect life hack.
Delusion is literally the biggest life hack ever, and it's a skill because everyone around you will tell you to be realistic.
But once again, it appears that she doesn't realize that the word she's referring to isn't delusion, but manifestation. By believing and reaffirming to yourself about something that isn't real yet, you're manifesting and not being delusional. And the truth of the matter is that Talia wasn't just manifesting in her videos. She believed every word she said about her looks being a head-turner. She believed that she couldn't go to the mall alone because thousands of eyes would be on her and the attention was intimidating. And this brings us back to the question of what drives her conviction. When we take a look at all her I'm pretty videos, Talia's level of confidence borders on narcissism. This is defined as a recurring habit of always thinking about yourself and admiring yourself. Talia's content continued to revolve around how pretty and perfect she was.
Sometimes people be like, just ignore,
Yeah.
ignore, take the high road.
Yes.
And it's like, high road.
And she believes she's the best person in the world.
I have always thought that I was perfect and beautiful and amazing and that nobody could top me. Say that I'm a narcissist, I have too big of an ego, I like myself too much. I don't really care because I'm fucking happier than you. I can guarantee that. I'm the best person in the world. And
Her entire personality revolved around discussions pertaining to how she and the internet regarded her physical appearance.
I'm pretty and I know I'm pretty. The thing is, I do have an ego. I do have a superiority complex. Because why would I, the only person who lives in my own universe and has been there through every moment, every experience, every conversation, believe that somebody else is on my level.
The gap between Talia's self-perception and reality became a joke. She was merely someone with a modest social media following, acting like she couldn't leave her house without being mobbed by admirers. It was the kind of delusion that's usually reserved for people who've actually experienced fame and can't adjust to its absence, except Talia seemed to be preemptively acting this way without ever having truly been famous. But what exactly made Talia to become this whipped about her physical appearance? To understand that, we need to get into a timeline from the past.
You're kind of dumb. Like, I can't fix stupid. There are like a lot of things you can fix, stupid, not one of them.
In what might be the most honest thing she's ever said, Talia once admitted that she has never been told no in her life.
Literally never been told no in my life. Honestly, being spoiled growing up has taught me that I can get anything I want in the world.
Let that sink in for a moment. 21 years on this planet, and not a single person has ever denied her anything? The reasonable explanation for why she has this mindset is the existence of wealthy parents. Truly, Talia's family's well off. There are 9 of them in their household, 4 boys and 4 girls. Talia's parents, Mark and Alexis Breyer, are lawyers, and they both run a TikTok account for their firm, The Husband and Wife Law. The account has over 220,000 followers. Talia's parents are quite the character, especially her dad, Mark. On the team's page, you can see that he brings the drama to content creation. Mark would review law shows and offer advice in areas they got it wrong.
We looked into Mr. Walton because he committed a violent assault, and your bureau was content to do nothing about it.
I know it's just a show, but these lawyers are sitting there talking to someone investigating them when all of you know you don't talk to the police and you...
He's a music lover. Mark raps at meetings. He also dances during said meetings.
What was the cop doing? Looking at her. Hey, she hit the floor. Next thing you know, shorty got low.
And he parties hard too. Mark is basically a teenager in an older body. This is the man who raised Talia and her 7 siblings. Mark and Alexis are so well known in the field that they often have interactions with celebrities like the Jonas Brothers.
Oh, it's funny you should ask, Jonas Brothers, because yes, we are hiring.
And Drake.
That's Drake. When you open it up, it says October's very own. It doesn't say anything about Drake.
That's Drake's company.
Get out of here.
That's Drake's company. What does it say?
You can never go wrong with some OVO merch either.
Drake just sent my wife stuff.
Yeah.
Not much is known about the family outside their social media spaces, but this glimpse into Talia's parents' occupation offers a glimpse of the kind of comfortable life she must have experienced growing up. Talia's been around a supportive environment from a young age. In one video, she sang and danced to the song Fancy by Iggy Azalea and Charlie XCX at age 12.
Here a chant for Talia, so she knows you're here. Do it with me, ready?
Even up to this very moment, her dad spoils her. In one recent video, he bought 2 cups of strawberry matcha just because she couldn't pick between her options.
That looks so good.
You got 3?
Yeah.
Yes, she couldn't decide, so she got 2.
I knew Dad was paying, so I got an extra.
This is why it seems as if Talia lives in her own small bubble. Talia graduated from NYU, one of the most expensive universities in America, where tuition alone runs over $60,000 per year. At age 19, Talia gained early success in real estate. She supposedly sold 5 houses in 6 months.
I went to NYU, graduated a year and a half early, started a business while I was there, moved home, did real estate at 19 years old while I went to school online, sold 5 houses in my first 6 months.
If it were true, it's quite impressive. For a 19-year-old teenager with no experience and no track record to sell 5 properties in a year and a half in what's typically a highly competitive relationship-driven industry, that's quite a feat. But then again, it's possible that her wealthy parents most likely pulled strings for her. Maybe they bought the properties and let her handle the sales to family friends. Maybe they bankrolled her real estate license and set her up with their network. Or maybe they told their rich friends to patronize their daughter. Either way, Talia found strength and pride in her self-made success at 19 in real estate, and rightfully so. Anyone in her position would be brimming with happiness. However, she always pours that energy into her brat mentality. Mind you, this isn't just inspirational talk. Brat Mentality is Talia's brand, an online platform where she hosts confidence masterclasses. You see, Talia's brat mentality stems from a belief system she was conditioned into from years of being spoiled by her rich parents. For her, this privileged upbringing is equal to her sense of entitlement to everything that comes her way.
I'm the luckiest person literally ever. I receive miracles every second of every day. People are always like, oh my God, how do you get this? How do you get that? How do you get literally everything you want? Because I'm a brat. Because I believe I deserve it. Because I know it's gonna happen. I'm so certain beyond my own logic that I'm gonna get the thing I want, that it just happens for me.
Once again, this manner of speech shows the disconnect between her and the reality most people face. If Talia believes that she can get whatever she wants, that high amount of confidence can make her think she's the piece of hotcake that everyone wants to stare at. And it's also why, although she could be coming from a good place, the vast majority on the internet would think otherwise. Because her choice of words doesn't set her up to be the most humble girl on the planet. Talia's background is crucial because it explains everything else. When you've never been told no, when every door has been opened by family wealth, and when your desires are always handed to you on a silver platter, you develop a warped sense of how the world works. You start to believe that the reason you have things is because you deserve them, because you manifested them with your good energy, and you're most likely in the better position to coach others on that. But how can you teach people when your mindset is already on a pedestal? How can Talia ever bring her level of thinking to someone who barely gets what they want in life? This is what makes her confidence quite alarming, because Talia has not only decided to use her platform to tell the world how pretty she is, she's also taken it upon herself to teach others to be like her.
Connect with more people than you. I have better energy. I don't give a shit. I think I'm the best person in the world, and I want to teach you to think you're the best person in the world. I don't give a fuck. In fact, I don't want anyone to idolize me or think I'm God or think I'm the best person in the world. I want you to think that about yourself, because...
And this offers her the entire situation starts getting ugly. What is Talia preaching to other people, and how harmful could it possibly be? Talia developed her entire philosophical framework to justify her tone-deaf privilege, and at the center of this framework is one of the most extreme beliefs you can hold, that poverty is a moral failing. Talia has repeatedly stated that broke people have bad energy, not that broke people might be stressed or struggling. She openly stated that they have fundamentally bad energy, that poor people accept the bare minimum.
Guys, I'm with my assistant. I'm like, is it mean to call people broke? And she's like, what you really mean is broke adjacent. You're not broke because you have no money. You're broke because you accept the bare minimum. You do nothing. The bar is literally in hell and you can't even meet it.
For her, money isn't only a resource, it's energy. And if you don't have it, it's because your energy is wrong. You don't want it bad enough. You're not manifesting correctly. You're basically a worse person.
That's why you're broke. And money is just energy, so it goes right along with that.
Talia then proceeded to talk about how being poor and broke is a direct consequence of broke decision-making. According to her worldview, you're only broke in life because of the choices you make.
Broke in the decisions you make. You're broke in life. Being rich is having freedom, enjoying life, loving the people around you, having a relationship with God. That's rich.
From the way Talia is speaking, you might assume two things. One, she's a Nepo baby. He grew up sheltered. And two, she has a complete failure to understand how structural inequality works. In her mind, people who struggle financially simply haven't tried hard enough or don't have the right mindset. The irony of someone who's never experienced real financial hardship lecturing others about money was apparently lost on her. Talia believes that broke people have time to vape and party, but the reality is that poor people suffer from lack of connections, skills, and access to certain knowledge pools that can get them financial breakthroughs in life. Poor people spend time trying to live hand to mouth. Not all of them go into clubs to drink and waste away. Talia doesn't see this. Why? Because she grew up privileged. This is why she's not in a position to lecture people about mindset. There's a disconnect between her reality and experiences and that of the average person who struggles from the grassroots level. She talks like a preacher on the pulpit, telling her audience that if rich people are making it, so also can the poor. And do you know what trick Talia believes would make this belief system work? Her brat mentality.
You know how you get there? With the brat mentality, believing you deserve everything that comes your way. You deserve everything good in the world and more. Because if other people are living on this earth, having things you want, then you know it's possible for you too.
Talia essentially mixed prosperity teachings with delusional positivity in this Instagram-friendly message. Just like what she did in this video, she displays the kind of thinking that lets wealthy people sleep at night by convincing themselves that poor people deserve their poverty. This is someone who claimed that she has never been told no in her life. She achieved success in real estate at age 19, and now she's talking about how people who struggle financially just don't have the right energy. This way of preaching is tone-deaf and harmful. When you have a platform, even a modest one, and you use it to spread the message that poverty is a choice and wealth is proof of moral superiority, you're contributing to a worldview that justifies inequality and punishes the vulnerable. You're telling struggling people that their struggle is their fault, that if they just had better energy or wanted it more, they'd be fine. It's victim blaming dressed up as a spiritual message, and this is only a fraction of what Talia is about. Talia didn't stop at one form of judgment. She also decided to use her platform to talk about women's sexuality and empowerment. Talia has built a significant portion of her content around crusading against hookup culture. In her words, it's low IQ activity, especially for women.
Hookup culture is a low IQ activity because I think you might actually just be stupid. Because if you actually think about it, it literally has no benefits for you, especially as a woman.
Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with choosing to wait for sex or preferring committed relationships. Different people have different values. The problem is how Talia frames this discussion. She doesn't position it as a personal choice, but as a moral imperative that separates good women from bad ones.
Hookup culture fucking disgusts me, and I mean that with every piece of my soul. Talia, I don't like the way you word things. You're so mean. Okay, and I don't like that you have zero respect for yourself, and you say you hate all men because you actually just attract the worst ones. Sorry.
Talia has even branded hookups as an action that men can do, but not women. She's made multiple videos to this effect, implying that hookup culture is for men. Men want sex, she said, but when it's women who want it, then it's stupid.
Hookup culture is fucking disgusting. I will shout it from the rooftops. It is nasty. Men want sex, and they're going to say exactly what you want to hear, do all the things to use you for your body. Don't fall for it. And if you hear that and you're like, women want sex too, you're stupid.
Talia doesn't believe that proper women should engage in casual sex.
Oh, well, there's two sides to every story. Yeah, but then there's the screenshots I got.
At the end of the day, everybody makes their own choices, but here Talia was shaming women for exercising their rights to bodily autonomy. She even went as far as insulting her former choice of clothing and slut-shaming herself to prove her point that women should respect themselves.
I was dressed like a slut here, okay? That's my 21st birthday outfit in Vegas. What was I doing?
By making an example out of this, Talia was inherently asserting that women's value as human beings is tied directly to their sexual history. This particular viewpoint could be arguably fair since she's preaching for modest dressing, but the approach is the problem. There are people who express their individuality through certain dress codes. It might not fit everyone's moral standards, but at the end of the day, it's still their choice. If no harm is done, then moral policing online could come off as pretty negative. For someone like Talia, who uses her platform to demean women for their choices, it truly sends a wrong message. Talia has shamed women for their body count.
If you participate in hookup culture, your worth is lower. Yup, sorry. You don't get to call yourself a Louis Vuitton bag when you cost 20 bucks. You don't get to say you're a high-value woman when it costs you fucking meeting you at the bar.
She implies that women who engage in casual sex are worth less as people.
Having a high body count as a woman lowers your worth. Oh my god, Talia, you're not a feminist. You're not a girl's girl. Oh my god, you hate women. Bitch, you hate women.
And here's the kicker. Talia does this while having zero personal experience with sex or relationships. She often boasts about being 21 with zero body count, although she already had her first kiss at 20. Talia has never had a serious relationship, yet she was lecturing other women about sexuality with the confidence of someone who's studied the topic extensively, except her research apparently consists of personal beliefs that are based on nothing.
Why are you acting weird?
I'm the village crazy lady. That's my job.
And here's where it gets truly disturbing. Talia's worldview is contradictory. While she's out here shaming women for their sexuality and telling them to abstain from men to boost their self-worth, she's simultaneously giving pointers on how to attract men. She would post videos saying that she's never had a boyfriend, and men would see women like her as wife material.
Take it from a vet, that's a rookie-ass mistake, ayy.
Can you imagine that? Talia has spoken extensively about how hookup culture was reserved for men, yet at the same time, she posts about how men would respect women who maintain purity. This is one way of thinking. She excuses men for the same issues she shames women for, and she tries to empower women so they can be more appealing to these men. It's ironic and a little weird. What Talia hasn't realized is that her philosophies are still boiling down to male validation. In fact, everything she's been posting right from her viral I'm Pretty video has been all about male validation. She claimed people would stare at her, and when the internet didn't believe her, she kept returning to repeat herself, all under the guise of self-confidence. She spoke at length about how she hated being fat.
Well, and growing up, I had so much confidence. And then when I went to college and I gained weight, I just fucking hated myself and I hated life. Because I literally tried everything. Nothing was fucking working. Like, it would work a little bit and then I would gain weight and I'm like, how am I gaining weight? Like, I'm doing more than I ever have.
And in her mind, she didn't really fit the beauty standard.
People are getting so mad at me saying I fit the beauty standard. It's not about my race. Like, what? I did not fit the beauty standard before. And I've been the same race the entire time. I was overweight. That's the number one thing. 2, I had a bigger nose. That was another big thing.
Once again, beauty standards is a metric that showcases a woman's ability to stand out and attract people. It's also a concept that only punches at people's insecurities.
But honestly, fuck the beauty standard, because a man created that shit. And he created that shit so we could be on the internet eons later arguing and, no, I'm the beauty standard, no, I'm the beauty standard. Because men think that women arguing and competing against each other is hot.
Talia has shamed women for participating in hookup culture when they could stay pure while waiting for their husband. For her, doing this is disrespectful to your future husband and you're being a menace.
You haven't met your person yet doesn't mean that you should be out there disrespecting him and yourself by participating in hookup culture and being a fucking menace to society.
Does she ever consider the fact that the future husband she speaks of could also be participating in hookup culture as well? Or does Talia believe only women partake in it? The double standards and misogyny are alarming. When you go through Talia's teachings, it's like you're living through the Middle Ages, where women were constantly conditioned to be proper and lukewarm in order to be accepted by men in society. And the crazy part is she believes she's the model example. Talia once mentioned how she had her first kiss at 20 and being single ever since was such a big flex that men would love.
Take it from a vet, that's a rookie-ass mistake, ayy.
Let's break down Talia's logic and principles. For her, women who have sex are worth less. Women who dress in revealing clothing are lesser. But also women should stay pure for their husbands because men love women who don't have high body counts and zero self-modesty. And what's the foundation of all this? Her complete inexperience and poor understanding of social relations. Talia has never truly navigated the complexities of adult relationships and never had to reconcile her values with real-world experience. She's constructed an entire philosophy of sexuality from the safety of having never participated in it, and she's convinced this somehow makes her more qualified to judge others. Talia's behavior seems to have its own rooted origins. It's understandable when you get to learn it.
You must be mean, you must be a bitch. You don't know me. You don't literally know anything about me. Why are you just like following me around, wanting to be best friends with me, like trying to literally leech off me, but simultaneously hating me? Like, you don't know what it's like.
Behind the classism, slut-shaming, and weaponized privilege, Talia's mind grew from a place of insecurity. She once opened up about her past, about her experience in middle school.
While the internet tries to humble me and debate if I'm pretty, I want to talk to you guys about what I went through in college and with my looks and what got me here.
According to her, she was bullied, and this made her hesitant to attend school.
Stay home from school because I was being bullied. Like, I would go late every day or like just not want to show up.
Her friends would throw an open invitation to everyone in the class except her. They always singled her out from group activities.
The kids in my class were literally so mean to me. They would like make group chats and leave me out of it, throw parties and be like, we're inviting every single person in the grade can come but Talia Breyer. Were just really mean to me, especially the boys.
Back in those days, she was fat, and Talia called this a traumatic time for her.
What trauma have you been through? I was fat. People don't understand how traumatic and awful it is to be fat, and then the mind fuck you go through when you lose all the weight and get skinny. Fat is one of the hardest fucking things to ever go through. I stand by that.
From these confessions, we can see that Talia was not a person with complete confidence, but someone who has always had insecurities. She believed that people bullied her and exempted her because of her looks. For her, nothing good will come to her if she doesn't level up from her fat state. So she bought the solutions. Talia did a nose job and invested in Ozempic to lose weight.
I love life so much, and I also fucking love Ozempic, bro. I don't care what anybody says. Being on a GLP-1 has made my life about 1,000,000 times better.
She went through those extreme measures just so she could feel good about herself. Ozempic is a weekly injection prescribed primarily for patients with type 2 diabetes. Using it as a beauty procedure is more or less an abuse to its intended job. And here Talia was, spending between $900 and $1,000 per pen to maintain her looks.
Doing Ozempic, trying to be different, trying to be a newer woman. That shit look if you need a dick, you need.
And it wasn't only Ozempic. Talia was also obsessed with Botox.
Anyone telling you that you're too young for Botox is trying to make you ugly. Botox has literally changed my fucking life. It smooths your skin, your makeup goes on better, you don't look as exaggerated, especially for me. I have strong muscles, okay?
Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with cosmetic procedures. If someone wants to change their appearance and has the means to do so safely, that's their choice. But what's telling is what happened after Talia's transformation. She didn't become genuinely confident, she became defensively arrogant. She didn't develop real self-worth, she developed a desperate need for external validation. And in a bid to prove that she was still fighting for the female community, she began to push for advocacy for girls from age 15 and above. Talia told ladies within this age grade to invest in their looks by changing the areas they feel most insecure about.
Oh, if you're a girl between like 15 and like honestly any age above that, why are you not caring about how you look? Like, I always was like, I just love myself the way I am. Like, I'm not gonna change anything. No, bitch. If there's something that's always bothered you, change it.
According to Talia, anyone who isn't giving similar advice to these young ladies just wants them to be ugly. So she preaches that by changing your looks, you'll be able to change your life for the better and be able to give back to other people.
No one tells you that because they're preying on your fucking downfall because they want you to be ugly and fat and a loser. But I'm telling you, when you genuinely love the way you look, it fills your cup and it literally makes your life better, and it also makes you able to give to other people and like give that overflow. Because
she also said that God gave us doctors and plastic surgeons for a reason. They're there to give you a nose job if you want.
like with my nose job, people were like, don't do that. Like, you were born with this nose. Bitch, I don't care. I was born with this nose and God said, here's a doctor that can give you a new nose. And I said, thank you so much, God.
The sad part of this whole situation is that there are young, unassuming, insecure kids on the internet who would rush to follow her advice. Here's an example of a 15-year-old girl asking where she can get a nose job. And there are many others seeking her infinite wisdom on matters related to beauty and confidence. Talia's struggle with self-esteem somehow makes her toxic confidence understandable. It doesn't excuse it, but it can make people tolerate her controversial takes, right from the viral "I'm so pretty" video. But while this may be true, there's still another aspect of her healing process that could have been considered. For instance, Talia had the resources to address her insecurity in healthy ways. She could have gotten therapy instead of, or in addition to, cosmetic procedures. She could have done the internal work to build genuine self-worth instead of just changing her external appearance. She could have even used her platform to reach out to other insecure girls like herself to grow as a community and grow to love themselves first before proceeding with cosmetic surgery if needed. But instead of doing any of that, Talia spent money on her appearance but not her personal growth.
So now I'm getting famous. People are fighting about me. They think that I'm rage baiting. It's like making people mad on purpose.
She fixed her nose but not her mindset. She lost weight but gained a superiority complex. And now she's stuck in this cycle where she needs constant validation to maintain her illusion of confidence. So what's the moral of the Talia Breyer story? What are we supposed to take away from this particular corner of internet dysfunction? The simple answer is that people shouldn't be pressured into fitting the beauty standard. Beauty standards are man-made perceptions. In some ways, they're even social constructs. Ideas that people unanimously believe is the right yardstick for attractiveness. This TikTok user named Tazania highlighted the part the media plays in portraying people with big noses as villains.
Our society's perception of beauty is so fucked up. As a big nose girly, do you know where I saw that growing up? It is always the villains. It is always the worst people you could imagine. In all the TV shows, all the movies, there's always the bad people that have the big noses.
Kids are made to watch villains who are painted in an ugly light with ugly aesthetics. And part of these aesthetics are big noses. Then guess who the angels are? The ones with light features and pointy noses.
The angels, all the good people, the people I'm supposed to look up to, they have those petite, small button noses.
This kind of portrayal often plants the root of insecurity. For Tazana, it got her wondering why her nose was big at such a young age.
Me, as a little girl, just trying to watch TV, how's that supposed to make me feel? Mom, why is my big nose bad? Why are all the people that are pretty and good, why do they all have different noses than me? Why?
Imagine growing up being conscious of your nose your life. If you're rich, like Talia, you could get a nose job. If you're capable, you can also save to get the procedure. But if you don't have the means, you'll continue hating that part of your body, and extreme lectures from people like Talia will always haunt you.
There's so much forms of beauty out there, but I feel like society only has this one face in their head that is beautiful, when every human looks different.
The world has set beauty standards to taunt and push women into beauty investments. The same also applies to men when it comes to being rich and having a nice figure. However, the difference lies in the nature of the enhancement process. For men, they would have to work hard to earn money and also hit the gym to stay fit. On the other hand, women would most likely lean to cosmetic surgery. Talia is still on this path. She boasts about using Ozempic and Botox to enhance her looks. But the thing is, external changes don't heal internal wounds. You can reshape your entire face, lose all the weight, buy all the designer clothes, and cultivate the perfect Instagram aesthetic. But if you haven't done the work on your self-worth, you're just putting makeup on an open wound. This in turn will feed the system that had created the desperately craved beauty standards.
I just hate that the world makes some people feel like they have to change their bodies to get surgery to feel pretty. That should not be a thing. I think that is so wrong.
Till this very moment, Talia continues to talk to uninterested people about her viral videos and life as an influencer.
2 weeks ago, I made a video saying that when I go in public, people look at me because I'm pretty. And everybody got mad. Exactly, because they don't like when you say you're pretty. Because they say that you're cocky. So now, everybody on the internet is fighting.
She keeps recycling her content to no end, oversharing her early accomplishments.
I graduated from NYU in 2.5 years. Be jealous of me. Think that I'm smarter than you. Think that I'm the best. I am. That's exactly what that means. And by the way, bachelor's in science, not even a bachelor's in arts.
And before the internet moves on to the next controversial influencer, Talia will continue to be the most arrogant content creator of the year.
Am Albert Einstein, but prettier, skinnier, richer, and smarter. I fucking did that shit in 2.5 years. And literally I was selling houses. I'm the fucking best. Bye.